Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading, in particular, mystery reading number 886. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, chances are that most of the people watching this video are not subscribed, so if you are a reoccurring viewer, you enjoy my work, and would like to help support the growth of my channel, feel free to do so by sticking around and hitting that subscribe button down below and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. So for somebody here, mystery reading number 866 might be significant for you. If you've already watched it or you feel called to it, this is confirmation, it feels like. Also, whenever I was saying all of that, I got a headphone in my ear like usual, listening to meditation music to help me really tune into the reading, and I had a notification for the Citizen app, which if you don't know what that is, it lets you know what's going on locally in terms of crime. So maybe there could be something significant here about crime or crime statistics. I feel like there is deception here, or it could be significant in some other way for you. I also saw the number 122 while I was talking about that Citizen app and everything. And then the number 123, which number 122, that's a sign to trust that change starts with you. Maybe you are a whistleblower, or there's something here about maybe the justice system that you feel called to share. Or maybe you're just really recognizing something about how people becoming criminals could partially be manufactured. I'm going to put it bluntly, by the powers that be. That's my opinion. And you might agree with that or start seeing that as well. Number 123 is a sign to trust that everything happens for a reason, which for me personally feels like it's about trusting that crime happens for a reason. I don't believe all of it is like manufactured or induced or anything, but I do believe with the way that the system is, it doesn't have room for people who end up being criminals. Somewhere they weren't heard, or they weren't treated the way that they deserved to be treated, or they weren't taken care of the way that they needed to be taken care of. Which is very interesting, because I did see this card before I started recording. The number 333 with growth, collaboration, the color blue, expansion, communication, self-awareness, throat chakra. A lot of the times I associate that number with communication. So regardless if you're a whistleblower or if you're seeing something about the system that silences people, this could be confirmation for you. And I just saw the number 345 while I was thinking about how some people are provoked into doing things that lead them into the criminal system or into mental health institutions. This is a very interesting reading. I didn't expect to be talking about these things. But moving on to interpreting number 886, number 8 is about walking away and letting go, accepting some sort of loss, finding deeper meaning in it, trusting that whatever is lost will be replaced, that this loss is happening for a reason. So that just feels like confirmation of a message for somebody to trust that everything happens for a reason. It feels like a big message here. The number 6 in 886 is about self-love. Wow. And I also see it as self-love, a choice, because the number 6 is on the Lover's card, which is all about a big choice. A choice between self-love and self-destruction. I feel like people who, end up in a prison or an adult institution or some sort of literal cage, the best way that I can put it is because they choose self-destruction. They trap themselves in their own mind. I believe that whenever you end up in places like that, it's because you don't allow your mind to be free, if that makes sense. You don't let yourself think freely, feel freely, believe freely. You could be very judgmental or harsh towards yourself, further reinforcing the need to choose self-love. This could even be a warning for somebody that if you don't choose self-love now, choosing self-destruction is going to, it feels like it's locking in, no pun intended, an unfavorable outcome where it could lead you into a prison or into a mental health institution, which I don't believe those places, I don't believe anybody deserves to be in those places. Intuitively, I've always disliked mental health institutions, just because the stories that you hear, and I kind of feel like in a past life, I was probably in those or something significant about those for me, but choose self-love is basically what I'm getting from the number 6. So I feel like whatever you're being called to let go or walk away from is self-hate, self-doubt, being hard on yourself, being judging yourself so harshly when you shouldn't be, or blaming yourself for things that are not within your control. It does feel like in general there is a weight here that you need to alleviate yourself from, a weight that you don't deserve to be carrying, that your ancestors didn't deserve to be carrying. This could be somebody who, is a turning point, and you are meant to be the one that really shifts the trajectory of future generations in your bloodline, if that makes sense. But adding up these numbers now, 8 plus 8 is 16, and 16 plus 6 is 22, and 2 plus 2 is 4, which, wow, somebody's ancestors are really present. Feels like they are really encouraging you to choose self-love, not self-destruction, to free yourself and not trap yourself. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, choose freedom, not self-destruction, for lack of a better word. The number 4 is about stability. It can be about your home life, your immediate relationships, your family relationships, your job. There are big choices here, for sure. And all of these big choices, it does feel like there's more than one. The first choice you need to make is what I've been talking about, between self-love and self-destruction, because once you make that decision, it will have a strong impact on your future decisions. Because if you are in a toxic relationship and you choose self-destruction, you're going to stay. If you choose self-love, you're going to leave. And, same with your job, or same with an unhealthy living, situation, or whatever it may be. You need to make that decision, that commitment, first and foremost, to self-love. I'm going to start wrapping up this reading by drawing out an index card from these index cards and see what else wants to come through for you. I wouldn't be surprised if this card was just confirmation for somebody. And I'm seeing the index card that says prisons. When I said that I was seeing the index card that says prisons, I meant in my mind's eye, not literally, but the recording kept cutting off because I'm running out of space. But the card that I pulled that says, do you want to talk? And I felt called to another one when I was putting the deck down that says, your French ancestors are trying to connect with you, so that's a specific confirmation for somebody. If they're not French for you, they could be from a different country. But this do you want to talk really confirms the number 333 that I saw earlier about self-expression and communication. How are you going to free yourself and protect yourself from going down the path that will lead to a prison or a mental health institution or a physical cage? Is using your voice, expressing yourself, communicate with yourself, understand yourself so you can protect yourself and future generations, honestly.